Hey guys, in this video we're going to be talking about Fuji's newest camera, the X-E3. I make a lot of these videos about, what it means, trying to look a little bit beyond what it is that we're actually seeing right this hot second. I'd love it if you check out some of my other videos if you're liking that idea and the execution later on. Please don't hesitate to like. Let's get into it, because the X-E3 is a really weird camera because it comes in at a strange point, right? It has basically the same functionality as an X-T20, but with the body design nearer to the X Pro 2. But while doing that, it has the feature set of the X-T20 with the sensor from the X-T2, which actually makes it a better camera in most regards than the X Pro 2. So your X-E3, this is a series of cameras that's a little bit interesting to get into in my view, because it's kind of differed in a couple of different ways from the rest of Fuji's cameras for a little while. The X-E1, great low light ISO, high ISO performance, and it had a great built-in raw converter, big deal at the time. And between the X-E2 and the X-E2S, your skin tones in low light rendered poorly, they were waxy. You're gonna get great, high ISO noise rendering in your JPEGs, but your greens are going to get a little muddy with yellows. The HDR mode is great for getting rid of that noise, and it still is going to compare, comparably, it's going to be comparable to the 70D. So, the X-E3 is pushing that a step further, right? With the X-T2 sensor, you're getting 8 FPS with mechanical shutter, 14 with your electronic, so that's a big deal, right? That's a huge deal. But you're also getting, much better color performance. You're getting a much better sensor. This sensor of the X-T2 is fantastic. So, what this is seeming to say to me is that we should expect an X Pro 3 soon, because you got to differentiate in a positive way the X Pro series so that people buy up, right? Because at this point, if you have an X Pro 2, you might as well buy an X-E3 because that's the better camera. So I think that this is a really interesting thing, right? Because Fuji's gone out of their way. You're even going to get the same kit lens options. You're going to get the 18 to 55 and the 23 as both as kit options, which, we haven't seen on an X-E series before, but that's definitely in line with the branding and the ideation around the rangefinder style Fujifilm cameras that you see in the X-E series and the X Pro series. This series of cameras has always performed well in comparison with competition. Like if you look at the Panasonic GX8 or the Olympus OMD EM5 Mark II, Fuji's ahead of the curve. Fuji's ahead of the game. So, the question is, what's next? And Fuji's published a lens roadmap. You're going to be able to get from basically 12 to 210 all at f2.8. That's a big deal. You're going to be able to get telephoto lens and adapter, so you're going to be able to get a little bit further reach. That's turning into more of a sports option as well. Fuji is filling in all of the gaps. People compare these cameras to Leicas all the time because of the rangefinder style bodies. And they're not typically very fair comparisons, right? Because you're buying a Leica for totally different reasons, you're buying a Fuji for totally different reasons. I think this is another great example of Fuji just shoring up another thing, because what's going to come next is going to be fantastic. Fuji only makes fantastic cameras. The rangefinder styled cameras that Fuji makes don't seem to exactly hold to the same performance ethos that Fuji has with the X-T20 and the X-T2. They don't seem to, although they're giving you that same performance, it doesn't seem like the same person who buys a rangefinder style Fuji camera is looking for the ultimate performance that you're going to get out of an X-T2. It doesn't look like that user is looking for the ability to swap out from like a 5D4 or an A7 II into a Fuji system. It doesn't seem like this is someone who's looking to go from an 80D or a D7500 or D7200 into a Fuji system. So it's interesting because it's not entry level either. This is someone who's been kind of figuring out that Fuji cameras are where they want to go for a while, and that rangefinder style cameras are where they want to go. And so that's the target market. It's not necessarily someone who's coming up from an entry level like an XA series or something into, because someone who's doing that will probably go for an X-T20. I'm really interested in seeing who buys this and where it goes from here.